Hi there, I am Dr. Wong from the Artisan Clinic in Singapore. I am a Cynosure key opinion leader in the APAC region and also internationally. And today, I welcome you to listen to my talk on Potenza, which is the latest skin rejuvenating device by Cynosure, which will change the industry for acne scars and also skin resurfacing. First of all, I'd like to thank the CPCA who invited me for this talk, and also Cynosure Australia. A brief introduction about me. I am the founder and medical director of the Artisan Clinic in Singapore, which is a highly ranked anti-aging and aesthetic clinic. I'm also the founder and medical director of the Artisan Wellness, which is a Medispa, also located in the Paragon Medical Center in Singapore. And a brief introduction, if you do not know about me, I was a fully injectable person. And because I wanted instant results for my patients, what best with injectables, because you get the best results. So when you inject it in, you get an instant result and the patient loves it and they come back again and again. So that was before I ventured into PicoSure, and then after that, the whole thing changed because Cynosure produces very good, safe and efficacious energy devices, and they give you great results and the patients keep coming back. Best of all, they also turn in a lot of investment into the R&D, and now we have Potenza. I hold a study academy in Singapore where I have doctors from Indonesia, Philippines, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Australia who come to me. They fly in personally before COVID to get personalized treatments for thread lifts and fillers. Also, this doctors from Bangkok. And then I also held a lot of supplier-conducted organized trainings in Southeast Asia as well, in Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Philippines. However, COVID struck and everything moved online. So I tag team with a lot of world-renowned international experts to speak on various topics of thread lifts and fillers on Instagram, on the international webinars on Zoom. And I spoke at CosDoc 2020 last year, the last year's installment of this talk, and also at the ICAT and AMWC talks. I also held a cadaver dissection workshop in 2018 in Kuala Lumpur, and I'm also a proud winner of this before-after contest held by Sinclair Pharma in 2018 at the World Experts Meeting in Barcelona, where I showcased my before-afters of combining fillers and thread lifts. So let's back to the topic of Potenza. So let's go to acne scars. So if you get a patient like this, a Caucasian skin type 1 to 3 with acne scars, it's easy. So just wax strongly on your energy devices, fractional CO2s, fractional erbiums, fractional anything, and you get a good result. How about this gentleman here? So he's of darker skin type, and his acne scars are very troublesome to treat. So this is a lot of this kind of patients that I see in Southeast Asia region. So we need a better treatment because before that, we get a lot of side effects. For example, PIH, especially, and also the skin sensitivity. They become more red easily, something like iatrogenic rosacea. So this reminds me of a story because a doctor friend of mine who had a patient like this, so she requested for aggressive treatment and he wanted to give her great results. So he allowed her and gave her great, very strong energy, fractional CO2. And however, that ended up with complications like PIH, and the lady couldn't handle it. And then she went into depression and kept holding the clinic. So it was an overall bad experience that I hear from my friend. So we need something better, something new that will revolutionize the industry where we can treat even darker skin with great results. Mercedes, as you know, has always been a very fuel-based company. They have resisted churning out the electronic vehicles, even though all the companies like BM and Tesla have come up with the latest ones. So they have decided now to change the industry as well. So they're coming out with the EQS, which is a fantastic electronic vehicle coming out in 2022. So Potenza-wise, we need to move forward with the times. It is the latest standard in acne scar treatment, in skin revitalization, and also for anti-wrinkle treatment. So it is a new standard in radiofrequency microneedling Potenza. There's a lot of evidence. You may not have heard of radiofrequency microneedling before, but I will show you now the evidences. You can see on the right here on the screen. There's a lot of evidences, published papers that shows a lot of efficacy for this active acne, for acne scars, for skin wrinkles, even for hair loss, for melasma. So there's a ton of indications that we can treat with radiofrequency microneedling. How it works is that the needle will first penetrate into the layer of the skin, and then the radiofrequency will come out from the needles itself directly into the skin. So this allows for a precise, direct action where you can treat the energy right at the cells where it is needed most. So you avoid the complications of heating up unnecessary tissues, for example, with the traditional monopolar RF devices. And the collagen is heated in a tissue, and subsequently the thermal effects induce a wound healing response in the next few days. And then the collagen is produced in the next 3 to 4 months. So the heat is applied immediately, and then you get the initial early contraction of the blood vessels and also the proteins. Then in the next few hours, over the next few hours to the next 1 to 2 days, it will stimulate a response of inflammation and expand the blood vessels as well to go to the area and to heal the area. And then subsequently, fibroblasts are stimulated as well to secrete cytokines and mediators to produce the stimulation of new collagen. The old collagen that is broken down will be removed in the next 21 days. So you get a skin tightening effect. You get your acne scar resurfacing effect in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So the results are immediate, and yet they are sustained over the next 3 to 4 months. So there's two kinds of RF, the monopolar and bipolar RF. So the bipolar RF on the top photo, on the right side, you can see the energy goes into the one pin, and then it goes into the skin and comes out at the other pin, back to the machine. And for monopolar RF, it's different. We have a return pad, you place it on the back, and the energy goes into your face and goes into the pad and back into the machine. So we can see that the monopolar RF is sort of deeper treatments into the whole face. It can lift the tissues inside. Whereas the bipolar RF, the energy is staying on the surface of the skin. So we are treating more like surface issues like wrinkles, acne scars. And then there's another 2 modes, which is the 1 megahertz and 2 megahertz. So the higher the frequency, the more absorption in the tissue. So we can go for a more aggressive treatment with the 2 megahertz on Potenza, or you can go for just a light skin resurfacing treatment with the 1 megahertz. So therefore, Potenza is the world's first USA approved, FDA approved 4-mode microneedle RF machine. Other machines that are similar have only 1 or 2 modes at the max. So this is a big step forward for the skin rejuvenation industry. So we can see the difference. If you look into the top column where there's Morpheus, there's also Secret RF, there's Genius. They are all bipolar RF. Potenza, we have both bipolar and monopolar RF. So we get best of both worlds. And we get another 2 modes, 1 megahertz and 2 megahertz. The other machines that we talked about just now has only 1 mode. The next, look at the needles. So Potenza has 16 needles, 25 needles, or 49 needles. So you have 3 modes to choose from. You can get more needle effect, or you can get more energy effect, depending on your preference for the patient. Whereas the other machines, they only have 1 and the most 2 kinds of needles to choose from. So the fact is, Potenza provides you with a more customizable solution for your patients. Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic, whichever, you get a good result for every patient. So we went through before. So 1 megahertz gives you a deeper and wider treatment area. It's more gentle. And 2 megahertz gives you a strong targeted treatment right at the area where you want it. So we can choose monopolar as well and bipolar. The monopolar one, it gets more denaturation of the protein. So it produces more recovering proteins, new proteins after 3 to 4 months. Less painful and shorter downtime. So and then the bipolar mode, we can have a more accurate targeting. So we target it right at the acne scars or whichever things that's more on the superficial area, the wrinkles as well. So we target those areas, the open pores. So we use the bipolar mode first for Potenza, and then the monopolar mode at the second pass. Bipolar mode for skin tightening, the acne scar resurfacing, the wrinkle reduction, and then the monopolar mode right at the end to give it that deep lifting, that deep stimulation of the fat and the collagen inside. And then we have special all the tips So we have a I tip, S tip, we have the fusion tip, and then a single needle tip. So the insulated tip. So this is the basic of microneedle RF. So the non-active component is insulated with this thing called parylene. And then the active part is coated with gold. So the only active part is that 0.3 mm. You can see on the screen that 0.3 mm there, right at the bottom. There's the active part. So this allows for very accurate targeting. So you can place it whichever depth from 0 mm to 4 mm. You can choose to treat the top layer epidermis, the dermis, or even the subcutaneous fat. So there's also 25 needles or 49 needles. So assuming the energy is the same, if you use the 25 needles, you will have more energy per needle. So you get more aggressive targeting. And if you use the 49 needles, you get a more gentle needle per shot. You get a more gentle energy, and you get a lesser downtime, a more warmer and gentler treatment. So you can choose 25 or 49, it's up to you. And also, it also has both monopolar and bipolar modes. That's really fantastic. So the I tip has a lesser downtime because there's only one active zone. And then we move on to this S tip. So the S tip is a semi-insulated tips. So they are called the tiger tips, presumably because like the teeth of the tiger. So there's two active zones you can see on the right side here at the bottom part. So this one is different because the active component is not at the tip. It's 0.3 mm above the tip. And the active component is about 0.25 mm. You can see there. So non-active and then active, and then a non-active and then an active. So the whole treatment is about 1.1 mm. So we use this, as you can guess, for probably Asian patients with thicker skin, with heavier tissues. So we can go this, use this semi-insulated tiger tip for a more aggressive treatment. So this for deep tissue tightening effects. And there's two depths of treatment, so it gives you a patient more value for money with this treatment. So peak power, so we explore the pulse duration versus the power. So now let's say imagine the wave comes in, so the pulse duration is longer, it goes in, it stays there and comes out. So you get a more gentle, diffuse heating. Whereas if you go for a shorter pulse duration, what happens? Your energy goes in, the same energy comes out within a very short period of time. So you get a very targeted, focused treatment. So this is how we choose the settings and the power as well. So the higher power, of course, you get the higher energy delivered. So you get a choosing of your skin type, the heavy skin, the thick skin, the thin skin, Caucasian skin, Asian skin, 49 needles, 25 needles, totally customizable to you. Be a thinking doctor and you can wield a lot of magic with the Potenza device. The preset modes are also fantastic for beginners, so not to worry if you're a beginner in microneedle RF. The preset modes are fantastic as well for your usage to give you great results. And then next, the fusion tip is a special one, the FDA-approved fusion tip. We just received it in January 2021. So we have a mechanical needle effect, and then we have an RF effect, and then we have a drug infusion effect. So the collagen stimulator can be pumped in, or things like PRP, growth factors, you name it, brightening serums, tranexamic acid, anything, it can be pumped in with the fusion tip. So we take a look at this video. So this is a demonstration of the fusion tip. So we place the tissue, the serums on the top layer of skin, the blue color one. And then you can see the needle punching in. And then after that, when the needle comes out, the blue topical thing, the serum goes in. Close up and slow-mo. Look carefully, so the needle goes in, the vacuum is on, so the needle goes in directly at the right depth. When the needle comes out, then the gel gets pumped inside because of the vacuum effect. Look again, the needle, and then the blue gel goes in. Okay, one more time. Look at the screen. We pump in the needle, radio frequency comes out, okay, and then the gel goes in. So this is superior to the other devices. If you have a meso gun, you have the traditional microneedle RF machines. So you can see that the traditional ones on the leftmost, the infusion of the serums are very superficial. And then you look at a meso gun, you get a big blob. So it's either too little or too much. Potenza is the best. It has the best of both worlds. So it gets a deep treatment, deep lines, of the serum being infused, and yet it is also giving very consistent streaks. So you need to target the skin depths accurately for Asian and Caucasian skin. This slides to show that. They have different depths. And so is there a lot of downtime, you may ask? My patients are scared of downtime. So the answer is no, Potenza doesn't have much downtime. That's the most fantastic part about this. Because I've heard a lot of patients who did the usual older machines of microneedle RF, and they have very severe redness, downtime. They are scared of it. They cannot go to work for 1 week. So this is not the case with Potenza. You can go to work the next day. You can look at this. This is a patient here. So right after treatment, she looks red. And then 4 hours later, applying the healing serums and the creams, her face looks okay, just slight tinge of redness. And after 2 days, I can hardly see anything. So there's no scabbing like the fractional CO2s and fractional whatevers. And then the skin looks nice and tightened up, you can see. And there's no redness after 2 days. So this is an anti-scar treatment. You can see the results coming very fast. I was surprised. This patient had the anti-scar treatment of Potenza, and 7 days later, look at the bottom photo. The results are really better. The pores are smaller. The scars are much lighter. Fantastic. 7 days. It was shocking to me. And this patient, 4 weeks after, you can see multiple potholes, big acne scars, open pores. The skin is smoother after 4 weeks. And look at this patient. This is a lady, so she was quite bothered with her acne scars, giving her low self-esteem and low confidence. So with this treatment, you can see the bottom photo, you can see there's a 50% clearance. And then, so she went again for a second treatment, you can see. Then we got about 80 to 90% clearance. So before, and then first treatment of Potenza, 50%, and second treatment, 80 to 90%. So it was life-changing for this patient. So she told me that she felt more confident, she's doing well at her job. Her friends commented that she looked like maybe a university graduate, so which was kind of cool for her. She's like 29 and 30, about 30 years old. So she gained a lot of confidence. So this is the kind of life-changing work that we are doing with Potenza. And this is another patient with acne scars that is rejuvenated. Previously, multiple fractional CO2s. She's a bit darker skin, so she got a lot of side effects. And with this Potenza treatment, you can see the resurfacing of scars. Fantastic. And then this patient has multiple deep tattered scars stuck down. Usually we do subcision, but with Potenza, we can also do the same thing with a pseudo subcision with the PLA infusion tip. So you can see the lower cheek area here, you can see is sunken on the left photo, and then on the right photo is resurfaced. And then here you can see again, the sunken part here, it has resurfaced. So this is fantastic. So Potenza can treat on the skin surface layer. It can also treat deeper down in the subdermal layer. And for skin tightening effects for after giving birth to children, is quite detrimental for your skin. You get a lot of loose skin. So this patient had this treatment, and Potenza made her avoid a tummy tuck surgery. You can see the skin tightening effect on the right photo. And this patient had liposuction, so uneven skin, not very well done liposuction surgery. And then you can see the skin tightening effect is fantastic as well. So this was quite miraculous. We totally didn't expect it. We just went in with my eyes blind because I'm one of the first Potenza users in the world. And this is fantastic. So if you have patients who have loose skin in the tummy, you have to use Potenza. And so I also developed a new protocol, Potenza Lift Protocol, where I can lift the face, targeting the retaining ligaments of the face, the orbital ligament, the zygomatic cutaneous ligament here, mandibular ligament, and the buccal maxillary ligament. So these ligaments, as we know, when we do fillers and threads, we learn about these ligaments. So when we are young, they look like a strong, nice tree with a thick branch, thick trunk, and they are strong, so they hold out the skin. So they are like this, perpendicular to the skin. So over time, they age and then they drop down, they become saggy. So that's why our face drops down and the jowling and the folds come in. So we developed this, so I did this treatment for a patient. So you can see on the left side of the photo, after the treatment, you can see there's lifting of the eyebrow, the lateral corner of the eye, the cheeks are lifted, especially the mouth corner. Look at the mouth corner, is really fantastic, is really life-changing. You can see immediately lifted with this Potenza treatment. And even a 66 years old lady like her also gets the same results. Look at the yellow part, the yellow arrows. And after 4 weeks, the effects last. So you can see this is the effect after 4 weeks. So she looks more lifted, V-shaped, and there's no thread lifting done, no injectables done. So this is really a fantastic result with the Potenza Lift protocol. Side view, you can see the jawline. Look at that, the jawline is amazing. And you can see it has a filling effect as well. Look at the tear trough of this patient. So her tear trough is better on the right photo. And you can see the tightening effect of the jawline and also the nasolabial folds. The cheek is tightened and lifted up. So it looks like I did fillers, but of course not. It is just Potenza with a pumping fusion tip. Look at this also. The lady here also has more fuller under eye area. Look at the right photo. And the cheeks are also more tightened and lifted. The nasolabial folds better. The jowls are also better. It's also like a filling effect. Look at the eyebrow area. So the temple and the eyebrows also are also more lifted. And you can look at the eyebrow and the upper eyelid. It looks more refreshed on the after photo. So it looks like we can also do like a non-surgical upper blepharoplasty with Potenza. So in conclusion, so the Potenza has a skin trinity, microneedle, radio frequency, and then also infusion tip where we can pump in collagen stimulators for added effect. And then there's also, this is the only microneedle RF with both a bipolar and a free monopolar RF. You get a free thermal temperature with this. And a patented fusion tip, which is the first of its kind. It increases the infusion of the topicals by 67%. And there's a tiger tip, which allows for 2-layer treatments, more value for money for your patients, great for the heavier patients, the thicker skin patients. Multiple customizable needle arrays, 1 needle, 21 needles, 25 needles, 49 needles. You can choose, you want more needles or you want more RF effect. So it's best of all, it has low downtime. It is great for all skin types because it is not a laser. So fantastic for darker skin types. So now we go on to a live demo to show you more about my tricks about using Potenza. You can see this is a Potenza machine and you can see the configuration. So these are the standard modes where you can choose the preset settings, melasma mode, rejuvenation mode, pumping mode. So now I've chosen one CP21 and I'll open it now and I'll place it on. So every needle is sterile and single use only. So lock it and then we are ready to go. Choose the manual setting. So I like to go for a pulse duration about 40 for Asian skin like hers. You can check the skin condition is slightly is okay, the average skin. So favorite setting for Asian skin is pulse duration 40. And I can go for the power from 40. That gives you an energy of 1,600 millijoules per pulse. Or for more aggressive treatment, maybe about 2,000. So this is for the cushion pumping tip. And later on, I'll show you. So another interesting thing is you can go for even sub-pulses here. So for example, if you can go for 3 sub-pulse, 4 sub-pulse, meaning that in the time it is taken for the needle to go in, it can shoot 4 pulses in the same time of 20 milliseconds each. So it's a total of 80 milliseconds. So this is also a special setting that I'll show you later when I use for lifting. But now I'll start on the basic one, which is 1 pulse per shot, 40 milliseconds, and the power is 50. About 1,000 to 1,200 shots, especially for thinner skin patients or for Caucasian skin. You can even go lower to 1,000, about 1,000 millijoules. Okay? But now we start with this 40, 50. Okay, so you need to disinfect the face. So she doesn't have any atrophic acne scars, so it's more for pore rejuvenation, skin tightening. So I'll use maybe a setting of 2 mm to start off with the jawline. So I always start off with the jawline here, and then I will move up the face. So this is impact of 4. So I like to just pull the skin up, make the skin firm and tight. So you can have about 20% overlap of the needle. So after every shot, you can hear there's a sound. So only move the handpiece after you see the needle fully extracted. Okay, so now we move on to the nasolabial fold and the mid-cheek area. So I reduce the depth So we go for 1.5. So you can stretch the nasolabial fold to tighten up the wrinkles of the nasolabial fold. So stretch it and then you do like a zigzag manner across the nasolabial fold. Okay, so we did half the face. So you can see here, Alicia here. So we can see clearly this is the eyebrow. You can see my finger here is lifted. The lateral canthus is lifted as well. Okay, Alicia, you look at the camera. Huh? Yeah. Okay, and then you can see that the nasolabial fold here is lifted as well. You can see, and the jowl area here, this side of the face is not treated. It's a bit heavier and bigger and loose, and this side you can see is firmer and more uplift. Okay, so look at the corner of the mouth again. So you can see this one, the corner of the mouth, the oral commissure, the marionette fold is pointing downwards, and then this one you can see that it's a bit more horizontal already. So overall, you can see that this half of the face is more rejuvenated and tightened up, and this part of the face looks very tired. Okay, so this is the Potenza lift protocol that I developed to lift the face as well as treating the skin open pores and also the dull skin radiance and lack of collagen in the skin. Alright, so you have caught my live demo. I hope you have learned the tricks of how I use Potenza to give fantastic results for your patients. And thank you for attending this webinar today. I hope to see you again. See you soon.